Live. Hello, Weekend Warriors. Welcome to another episode of the Weekend Dojo. Tonight we are joined by special guest Jayhan. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, hello everyone. My name is Jayhan, however you want to call me.
Mhm.
I'm a singer, songwriter, and composer. I spend a lot of time making music on my YouTube channel, and yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Well, while we're discussing your music, would you like to mention what covers you've done and maybe your favorites you've done so far?
Right. Okay, so I've done some Transformers related covers. I've also done a lot of work in Sonic the Hedgehog related
Mhm.
music. So such as Live and Learn. Um, what else? Let's see. Sweet Dream. I think there was also I'm trying to think because there are quite a few that I've worked on but that are not on my channel, but I've worked with other musicians out there. So
Mhm.
I think also some of my favorites are the that I've done are the Gravity Falls themes that I've made, that
Okay.
I've arranged. So there was the orchestral composition and the kind of music box melancholic version. So yeah.
I do have a question for you about your. Remember last year when you did the Power Rangers teaser trailer song?
Yes, yes.
Did you when you heard that like the guitar going like da 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 da? Did you notice like that it was like kind of somewhat on beat of the original theme, and that's kind of how you fit it in?
You mean the Dino Charge theme, right? Being so
Not
similar.
not the Dino Charge one. It was well, you kind of mixed in lyrics to Dino Charge in there, but like it was the one that was it's called. I actually bought your song on iTunes. I have it here.
Really? Thank you. Wait, so are you talking actually about the oh, you're talking about the trailer theme version, right?
Yes,
Yes, yes.
this
Yeah, I
one.
was yes. Yes. Probably you want to stop actually because I think my music is the music that I've made is actually copyrighted, so I don't
Oh, okay.
really want your video to be claimed. Sorry
Oh,
about
okay.
that. But I appreciate that you bought it.
Yeah.
It means a lot to me. Um
The one part I wanted to know was, you know, when the guitar starts coming in, and that was
yeah.
like guitar riff you heard in the trailer.
Yes.
When you connected the original lyrics by Juan Wasserman into that,
Yeah.
did it did you like notice that the riff sounded somewhat similar to the original theme song? That's like how you were able to do it.
Yeah, actually, that's how I basically I mean, in the end, the trailer song was a sort of like a different iteration of the original Power Rangers theme song.
Hmm.
So I tried to not only listen to the trailers, to the trailer that I saw last year, but also I tried to listen to the original song to see if I could, if I got it right, you know?
Right.
So yeah, I mean, it wasn't as obvious, I'd say. So, but I think it was fun to arrange this piece. So this music piece.
Now, one more question before Chaz gets on to his. Do you have
Mhm.
any plans to finish the touch? Because I know you have part of it on SoundCloud.
Yes, yes. Actually, the reason why I started it why I was kind of working on it was because I'm going to be attending the Transformers Nation, so TF Nation
When is
in
that?
the UK, in Birmingham. It's going to be, let me see. If I'm not mistaken, it's the weekend of the August 17th, 18th, and 19th, if I'm not mistaken. I have to double check just to make sure, but it's called TF Nation.
Hmm.
And believe it or not, Stan Bush is going to perform there. So I
Oh,
got
that's sweet.
It's really, really awesome. I've been to TF Nation last year and I had an absolute blast.
Mhm.
And kind of like last year, when I decided to go to TF Nation last year, I worked on a cover of the Transformers Evo song. So the Transformers animated
Mhm.
Japanese opening theme. And yeah, it was kind of my way to celebrate that I was attending TF Nation last year. Now this year, I'm gonna be celebrating that by making a cover of Stan Bush's "The Touch." But I do remember, was it you who asked in my Discord group if I should work on "The Touch" or something like that, or was it
Yes, it
some?
was. It was the Touch or Dare.
Yes, there we go. Dare. Um, I actually started working also on a Dare cover as well,
Yes.
but the thing is that when I try to arrange my songs, I use virtual instruments, and
Mhm.
sometimes when you use virtual instruments, they don't really sound real enough, authentic
Right.
enough. So I decided to give it a go with trying to make like a music box version of Dare actually. So
Mhm.
I'll try to see how that goes, and maybe if it's good, then I'll release it relatively soon. So,
Is that how music, or is that how movie trailer music is made?
yes, yes. Um, there was a time where a lot of the music, so, like big movie studios, they had their music recorded in these huge booths, where
Mhm.
you had like orchestras or you had a little ensemble. Ensemble are, like probably a group of 6 or 7, like maximum 8 people who play music together
Mhm.
and record simultaneously. But nowadays, because of technology, it's become so much easier to just arrange your own music piece. And unless you're some big shot movie studio, a lot of people use virtual instruments to arrange their own music. So virtual instruments, basically digital music, if you want. So
Yeah. Chaz, you got any questions?
Yes, actually, and this is probably a pretty standard one, but
mhm.
um, as far as musical inspiration, who would you say was sort of the artist you modeled yourself after when you were just starting out?
When I was just starting out, that's quite tough to say. I mean, nowadays I would say that Johnny Joeli has been my idol as a singer and performer. Mainly because he has a very Johnny Joeli is the lead singer in Crush 40. So Crush 40 is the group that is known to do all these Sonic the Hedgehog rock songs.
Mhm.
Um oftentimes used in battle themes. Yeah, I think I yeah, I kind of modeled my voice after Johnny Joeli because he has a very powerful voice.
You
And
know,
yeah,
just now that you mention it, I was watching some of your music videos. I'm hearing that.
really. Yeah, he is a huge inspiration for me. Um and yeah, growing up, I don't know, like maybe like you guys or maybe like some other people, some of us grew up playing video games, right? So
Mhm.
oftentimes, whatever games you played, you get influenced either by the story or even by the music. In my case, when I grew up, I played often Sonic Adventure 2. So and a lot of the music, yeah, and the years that came afterwards, I bought other Sonic games, and at each time there was a new Crush 40 song, and really, Crush 40 has been like the band that I would listen to in my teenage years all the time, over and over again,
Mhm.
on these kind of like these little MP3 players. Do you guys know them? Like the red ones? Yeah, that are kind of like flash drives, but and they have this kind of like um really weird written way, like how they're titled and all that.
Yeah, I used to have one.
Yeah, they were really excellent. Yeah, so Crush 40, yeah, Johnny Joeli, biggest influence in terms of musical performance and singing. But I'd say in terms of composing, I think on the one hand, it would be composers like Hans Zimmer, um, who else? Steve Jablonsky as well. Steve Jablonsky, because he's not only worked on the Transformers movie, he's also done he scored for Gears of War series, which is a franchise I really, really love.
Do you? I'm trying to remember what composer it was, but do you remember who composed the score for the 2003 Peter Pan movie?
2003 Peter Pan. I don't remember actually. Hold on. This is something I could look up. Composer.
I found it. It was actually James Newton Howard. Wow.
James who?
James Newton Howard.
James Howard.
Yeah.
Let's see. James Newton Howard. What kind of other tracks did he?
He's done a few shared like collaborations with Hans Zimmer in regards to the Dark Knight trilogy and Batman versus Superman.
Right. There we go. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with James Howard, but I think for the most part, for me, yeah, Hans Zimmer, Steve Jablonsky. And I think at some point there was also Vince DiCola, because Transformers was a big influence on me too.
And speaking of composers, I can't believe I forgot to ask you about this in Discord. But you know how it's the I believe 40th anniversary now of the Christopher Reeve Superman movies?
Yes.
Are you familiar with the song "Can You Read My Mind" from Superman?
I don't actually know. I'm not too familiar with that.
It was a song. It was originally the love theme from when Superman and Lois had their first flight, and then the lyrics are her poetic dialogue during that flight scene.
Oh, really?
I was gonna ask you earlier, since it's the 40th anniversary, if you could think about doing a cover of that for this.
I could definitely give it a go.
Awesome. It's just if you look up on YouTube the song "Can You Read My Mind." Let me find out who the artist is, because the instrumental was John Williams.
Yes. Yeah, John Williams. There we go. That's another composer that I want to add to my list.
Maureen McGovern, who sung Maureen. I think that's
okay. Maureen.
Yeah, McGovern.
And the title is
"Can You Read My Mind?"
Can You Read My Mind?
Yeah.
Read My Mind. I'll definitely have a look at that. I mean, Christopher Reeves, man, I really miss that Superman, though.
And Margaret Kidder also.
Yeah. She passed away recently, didn't she?
Yeah, almost a month ago.
Yeah. Goodness me. Yeah. So yeah, definitely John Williams to add on the list, actually. Yeah, with all his Star Wars themes, Indiana Jones, man, the themes of my childhood.
Now, as far as were you ever a Godzilla fan?
Godzilla, not as much. I think let's see. No, not really, actually. I've never really watched the original. I did see the more recent Godzilla movie, and I think I've also seen there was a new Godzilla series that came out on Netflix.
The anime?
Yes.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Well, I'll ask is, how familiar with the theme song? Because one of my favorite composers is Akira Ifukube, who's done a bunch of composed music for various Japanese monster movies from that time.
Oh, really? I don't know. So I'm not too. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with the source material, but I have listened to some of his tracks though. So I think because people were talking about the Shin Godzilla movie, and they were saying that some of his themes were reprised or he reworked on it or something like that. I'm not
I
sure.
think he's been dead for a while.
Okay, you know what? Then maybe he didn't work on it.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
I think they were reused.
Yeah. I think they definitely reused some of the themes in the Shin Godzilla movie. Yeah.
What I liked about it was his style was he sort of kind of started the kind of big use of like how do I pronounce, what's the best way to describe it?
Sorry about that.
The typical, like how when you think of monster movie music now, you gotta hear like those big like deep symphony music, kind of like with horns and stuff playing.
Yes.
Yeah, he's kind of the one that started all of that, so that's what I like about his music.
Ah, okay.
Even the recent Attack on Titan movie, say what you will about it, but the soundtrack definitely did take lots of inspiration from Akira Ifukube's style of symphonic music for monster movies.
Right. That's interesting. I did hear some talks about that as well. So it's good. It's interesting to hear that actually. Yeah. What did you say his name was again?
Akira Ifukube.
Okay. I mean, I'm always curious to know more about other composers as well. So, Akira, you say, right?
Yeah, like kind of like the anime Akira.
Yes.
Yes.
Actually,
yeah.
Just my mind just flashed back to Transformers. I figured I might as well ask this. What was the series or media that actually introduced you to Transformers?
Okay. How was I introduced to Transformers? Okay, so I think let me just think. I do recall watching some of the original G1 Transformers way back when I was a kid. But I don't think it was enough to keep me going as a fan. It was only in later on when I was watching I think Transformers Cybertron on Cartoon Network, I think. That introduced me to reintroduced me to the whole Transformers franchise. And because of that, I kind of looked at other TV series from Transformers. So more like Armada, and the G1 series as well. And I think a little bit of the G2 as well, I think. Yeah.
As far as
the movie, the 86 movie. Oh, goodness me. That was...
As the 86 movie goes, do you have a favorite part of it?
Well, in Transformers, in the movie?
Yeah.
My favorite part. I think, let's see, favorite part. It was taken out, I think, in the redub version, I guess, but I think in the original one you actually hear Bumblebee say shit. So, and I think they censored that part in a future release. I think, I'm not sure, but I was told it was censored. I've only ever seen, like, sometimes on YouTube they would upload the full movie and I would be able to watch it. Nowadays it's kind of hard to do that. So
definitely.
Yeah. So but yeah, I think yeah, favorite part. I think another favorite part was Ultra Magnus trying to open the matrix of leadership and struggling to do that.
My favorite part is Starscream's coronation.
Oh yes,
And then Galvatron comes in. He's like, Megatron, is that you? Or no, it's Galvatron comes in. He says, "Coronation, this is bad comedy."
Yeah.
Mm.
Yes, I remember that too. I think for me though, personally speaking, I think the part that impacted me the most was the whole sequence where you see the Transformers that you've seen previously in the previous episodes all dying one after the other. I think that was never really done before, and it came as a shock to many kids out there. So, and
I've heard
yeah,
a lot of parents took their kids out of the theater at that part of the movie.
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that were the case. So, I mean, it was basically a whole way to transition from the previous toy line to the new toy line.
Yeah.
So
we were, my friend and I here were watching, or yeah, Chaz and I were watching The Toys That Made Us, or at least you watched it already, didn't you?
No,
I tried to.
Okay, you tried to, but it was the new season came out, and then they had an episode about Transformers, and they were talking about that they killed off a bunch of characters to get them out of the way so people would buy the new toys, pretty much.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's basically it. This show isn't that on Netflix actually?
Yes, The Toys That Made Us is a documentary series on Netflix.
Right. I gotta check that out. I've heard so much about it, and now I really want to check it out.
Okay, as long as we're on the subject, like the entirety of the franchise, who is your favorite character?
Oh goodness me. It's so okay, Optimus Prime is my favorite character. But I mean, I think that's the case for many people out there.
It's not an invalid answer.
It's true. I think, yeah, he has been. What I really like about the Optimus Prime character is that he kind of has this sort of father figure about himself. He's a leader. Yeah, I think he has been sort of the leader that people aspire to be, you know? But yeah, if I had to choose a second favorite aside from Optimus, it would be Prowl, the G1 Prowl. Yeah.
You mean, oh, I'm so sorry then that you had to see the movie.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god. His death was not it was not graceful. Not graceful.
My favorite on both sides, on Autobot's side, despite the fact that I have a Hot Rod figure here, is obviously Optimus. First me getting into Optimus was mostly because of his look. Then when I started watching it, I started liking it because of the leadership and all that.
Yeah.
And just in the fact that they actually had a Pepsi truck for him.
Really? Did they?
Yes, this was a toy. It was a G1 Optimus. It was an exclusive. Chaz would know how you could get it because he knows all that. And it had a trailer in the back
that. Not that one.
He has a trailer on the back that you can put your Pepsi cans on.
Really? That is pretty cool, though. I would have loved that too.
As far as the Decepticons go, my favorite is G1 Starscream.
Yeah. I noticed the posters and I was like, it's gotta be G1 Starscream. So you also collect the figures, I imagine, both of you, right? Or
I have some. I've been mostly focusing on the Power Rangers, but I'm starting to get back into Transformers. Like, that's what I've got here.
Yeah, I really dig the helmet. That is really awesome.
Yeah, I got it for a cosplay. I've been working like a full year on making, and it's finally done.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm not using it, it stays right here.
Yeah.
This is one that I'm kind of proud of at the moment.
Wait, who is that?
This is one of the Pretender's monsters.
No way. Really?
Yeah, if you collected all 5 of them and got a whole bunch of combining hoo-ha that would actually store on the back plates here, they combined into Monstructor, who was one of the first combiners, I believe, in the series.
Wow, damn. So do you have all the other figures or?
Not yet. I'm hunting them down.
Not easy, huh?
It's to find them complete as they are. I mean, usually you just find the shell,
Yeah.
and it's hard to find the inner toy because they're made of a dense plastic. They get stiff, they break.
Right, right, right. Yeah, yeah, and usually they don't really make them anymore, so usually you have to find you have to look into what like eBay or something like that, Amazon even.
eBay, Amazon, collectors specific websites. It's
Yeah.
a bit like going on Safari, really.
Yeah.
I was able to find this on eBay for like $35. And this is the original.
Wow. Damn. Is that
That's right. Chip noises still existed back then.
Yeah, was that that was from the original Mighty Morphin, right?
Yep. Fun fact about this: I found this out by looking at the print on the side.
Yeah.
It says 91, so this was literally just taken from the Japanese toy, and they added a Power Ranger sticker on it.
Nice, nice.
So I actually wanted to this is the last question that I had right in my head.
Yeah.
Was so what is it when you're playing a game or watching a series? What triggers that I need to do a cover or I need to write a song reaction in you?
Yeah. Let's see. Oftentimes I will, do a cover or something, or write an original song based off of a series or a game or movie if it somehow kind of like moves me emotionally. Like if there are certain moments where I feel like I connect to what I'm watching or what I'm playing or what I'm seeing, So, for example, okay, let's see, what kind of example? I recently, let's see, do you guys know the series Troll Hunters, for example?
Yes, I know of it. I just have not watched it yet.
Actually,
I was going through Netflix last night. Speaking of which, and saw it. I was like, oh wait, I really need to check this out because I remember Jayhan covering this.
Yeah.
It's funny you should mention that series. I've got a family member who was associated with the production of it.
No way. Who?
It's okay. Are you familiar with the they're the now defunct animation studio Arc Productions?
What's it called again? Sorry.
Arc Productions.
Arc Productions. It sounds familiar. What did they work on before?
They essentially did animation for a bunch of other small movies. Anyway, long story short, I believe I can't remember if she said she was a producer or if she was an investor. Anyway, she'd actually recommended this to me. She had said to keep an eye out for it on Netflix. This was like Thanksgiving 2 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. That's around the time when it actually came out. I think it was around Christmas time 2 years ago that it came out. And it's been an absolute ride. It's wow. The series just came to an end actually with its 3rd season. And that series it's a series that is really well written, and it has a team that is really devoted to what they're producing and creating. Yeah. The first Troll Hunter song that I wrote is actually an original song. So written from scratch, lyrics and music. And it was written and dedicated to the lead character, who was actually voiced by Anton Yelchin. And sorry about that. Anton Yelchin, maybe you guys know, he was in Star Trek, the rebooted franchise.
Okay.
Not the recent one, but the movies actually.
Mhm.
He played the young Chekhov, right?
Oh,
In the
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
yeah. And he during the production of Troll Hunters, he actually passed away, and that was about 2 years 2 years ago. And having enjoyed his work in the Troll Hunter series, this how the story was being told, and how the characters were made, this deep connection, like they feel believable, even though it's an animated series. There's this kind of heart to it in this series. So I wrote this song called Troll Hunter's Serenade, kind of a way to dedicated to this troll hunter this actor who actually passed away. So
didn't he also play Kyle Reese in Terminator Salvation?
It's possible. I think he did. Actually. So yeah, he was about 28 when he passed away. So that's a year. About if he had lived on, he would have been 2 years older than me. So
okay.
Yeah. It's kind of sad because he had a lot of potential. He was very talented, and it's sad that he passed away so young. So I really wanted to kind of honor his memory by writing this song for him. Little did I know, the song actually picked up. Like, a lot of people saw my song, including the people who worked on the show, and also the one who created the show himself, Guillermo del Toro. So yeah, it was really for it's a great feeling, knowing that you kind of poured your heart into creating something that you really love. At first really dedicated to this one person, and then seeing this kind of really great people really appreciating that. It's a nice feeling. But I really enjoyed writing this song, and it got me emotional at the end when I finished writing it. So
I know the feeling. They're one of my favorite childhood heroes. You're familiar with who Steve Irwin is?
Steve Irwin, yes. Isn't he the Australian
crocodile hunter?
Yes.
Yeah. I was when I was going back watching some of his old stuff on YouTube, I realized I'm an editor now, and I haven't made any tribute to him around the time when he died, because YouTube was just starting out then, and I didn't have those skills at the time. So I used the song Crocodile Rock, which was played at the ending of his movie Collision Course, and I did a compilation of various clips of him out in the outback with audio and everything, and timed it with the music.
Yeah. Oh, that is really
felt very emotional doing that.
Yeah. When you have a connection with someone you really appreciate and love, and then you start you work on your tribute video, and once you're done with it, you look at it, and then you think back how he has impacted you. This kind of feeling, this kind of very heart-gripping feeling, that's yeah. It's sometimes really hard for me to explain in spoken language. That's why I use music to kind of express my feelings, right?
Right. I understand completely.
By the way, Chaz, I just wanted to say, just to get this out of the way, I really dig your glasses. They are really awesome.
Thank you. It's just a thing I do. I actually kind of have to because I've got these bright, soft light boxes right here.
Yeah, I noticed. Yeah,
Uh,
I mean, because I work on video production, so I kind of can tell when you're using softboxes, and they make you stand out. Really good job with that.
yeah, the backlight would be better if my ceiling light hadn't gone out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I need to replace that. Anyway, on the subject of music, and this actually is also a question just as a curious musician myself. How do you find the right tune to make a song to?
How do I find the right tune to write a song? Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. How do you find that riff, that progression?
Huh. Okay, believe it or not, many times some of my better riffs, some of my better melodies, there's only one specific time when they actually really come to me, when they sound really good. And that's when I'm actually taking a shower. I have no idea why, but for some reason, some of my better melodies, they come to me when I'm taking a shower. So they just pop into my head. Maybe it's because I feel really relaxed. It's the end of the day and I just, like I don't know. So when it does happen, I usually right after taking a shower, I go onto my computer and I start writing down the melody. So digitally writing down. So we call that MIDI composition. So yeah, and then I just start like moving things around, start experimenting. So there's and when it comes to music, um music comes to you in really the most unexpected moments. And oftentimes you'll just have one part of the melody, and then the rest of it you will try to work on your music program, and then you figure out, okay, I have no idea where this is going. I'm gonna take a break. You come back to it 2 or 3 days later, and you're like, oh, I have another idea. Let's just do it like this. So yeah, it's this kind of workflow that is very unsteady, I have to say, which makes it really hard for well, I mean that's part of the job. When writing original songs, sometimes it just doesn't come to you that quickly, and it takes time. You want this song to be as great as it can get. And if it takes time to do so, then you have to take time. So, yeah, I think if you are relaxed, if you feel like you want to make music, sometimes the music will just come to you. So, yeah. But I'm not sure if that is the answer that you're expecting.
Well, no, the thing is, it makes a lot of sense. The thing is, I'm in the middle of trying to write a theme song for the dojo here, and I've got lyrics. The problem is that the only tune that my brain is supplying me with is Monkey Wrench by the Foo Fighters.
Well, maybe you could, pick some ideas from that and then try to see how you can transform them into your own ideas. I mean, in the end, some songs are going to sound similar after time, it's gotten to a point where many songs sound so similar that they have to kind of like sue each other or something like that. Oh, I wrote this line, this melody first. You copied me. But it's, yeah. There's going to be a time where it's going to be really difficult.
Or every Nickelback song.
Oh my God.
Don't open that can of worms. Don't open that can of worms.
Nickelback, yeah.
I had to make that joke. Sorry.
Yeah. No, yeah, I think if you're writing a theme song, what kind of music software are you using?
Not using it. Actually, I'm not using any music software just yet. Right now, I'm
Right.
just trying to get the. Right now. I'm just trying to get the writing portion of it done, and then I've got a bandmate who has some music software that I'm probably
Okay.
gonna have to mooch off him.
All right. Okay. So I think the tip that I can give you is, just go crazy with it. Have fun with it. That's the most important part of in songwriting. If you don't have fun with it, then it's not going to come out great, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, as long as you have like also a structure, it'll be great. You know, how long do you plan on making this kind of theme song? Like 30 seconds, or do you plan on making 1 minute or 1 minute 30?
Like no longer than a minute and a half.
Okay. All right. So as long as you keep the structure as like, intro, um let's see. So you have lyrics as well, right?
Not even enough to call it a verse, just a handful of stuff.
All right. All
Oh,
right. Sorry, I interrupted you.
no, I don't even know where I was going. Go ahead.
I'll be right back.
I'll just say that when I write my own theme songs with lyrics, um, sometimes I write the melody and then the lyrics just come along too. Write down. I think write down as many lyrics as you can, many words as you can, and then after some time, you try to put them in order, and then try to come up maybe with a melody. And if somehow the melody and words don't really match, try to switch the words around, basically. So it's really like there's this give and take between melody and words that you have to kind of change and adapt and see how things work. I mean, it's a journey that for you to discover, really. There's only so much I could say before you kind of learn it.
Yeah, it's true. A lot of it will be. It'll probably come down to I'll be learning it solo, and suddenly what you said will click in. I'll be like, oh yeah, she mentioned that. I mean, right now that's all I'm doing is I'm just playing around with it.
Well, make sure.
I suppose one last question out of me for the stream, and then we'll hand the mic back to Kenny when he gets back.
Yeah.
Is I have seen that you've done a little bit of voice acting work.
Yes, I have.
Now, did you actually receive training as a voice actor, or did you just carry over what you learned from singing?
I think it's funny you should mention that because I do think that I carried over from, I sung my whole life and then I've just carried over from that, into voice acting. I think you'll notice that a lot of the voice actors out in the industry, they are fantastic musical performers, because not only do they sing well, they also combine acting into their performances. And in my case, I do sometimes a few public performances, and you need to have a stage presence. You need to be able to build this connection with your audience. So that's what I try to do from time to time. And also, I do like voice acting. So there were a couple of times where I joined in on projects. I handed in some lines and they weren't accepted because I wasn't good enough. So I kept practicing and practicing and trying to see what makes me believable as a character in a certain project. So, yeah. So I think, yeah, a few of the voiceover projects that I've been part of are, let's see, they're Transformers related, stop motion. God, I love stop motion Transformers. One I've
Voice
been,
these? Can you send me to these?
yeah, definitely.
Your Discord later?
Yeah, definitely. So I can talk about a few of them. Like one of them is from Crosshairs Productions called
Mhm.
Broken Mirror, I believe.
Who'd you play?
Yes, I've
Yeah, I didn't play anyone in that one, but oh wait, did I? No, it was in the next season. Um, Transformers Ascension.
Mhm.
I was brought into the project as a composer and then did a kind of like a cameo voice for Windblade, I believe. Or no,
Mhm.
wait. No, sorry, that wasn't. No, hold on. Not Windblade. It was RC.
I was gonna ask if you played RC.
I
So RC
did.
is one of my favorites.
Yeah, it was RC, but the mold was the Transformers Prime version.
Okay.
So yeah, and it was a lot of fun, you know. And I can also say that because of some of the voice acting projects that I've been part of, I'm happy to say that I am officially in a video game called Splash Blast Panic.
Ooh,
So
nice. What
I
system?
it's kind of like you guys know Super Smash Brothers Brawl or
Mhm.
basically this
oh
whole
yeah.
so imagine that but instead of throwing fists and attacks, you use water guns and you're on a jetpack and you have to uh, kind of shoot at people, like make them go out of the screen, basically, right? Fly out of the screen. So
Mhm.
that's the concept, and I am technically the announcer voice. So it is an
Cool.
officially licensed Nintendo game, so I'm really excited about that. It's an indie game, mind you, but
Mhm.
licensed by Nintendo. So
What
Hey, with
system? Do you
any
know if it's Switch?
yeah, it's on the Twitch actually. I think it
Okay.
should be now on Twitch. They're trying to get it released. I think they have it released, but if not, then it's quite soon. So
Yes, I am.
well, that's really cool. I would
yeah,
kill for a gig like that. I actually, I actually, my dream voice acting gig,
yeah.
uh, was act. Okay, so it's like again from that whole Japanese, uh, series of shows, that Power Rangers is adapted from, sort of the great
Mm,
granddaddy of Power Rangers.
yeah.
I always wanted to be the voice of like their transformation devices.
Really?
Yeah.
That
I
is
mean,
pretty cool.
you don't understand entirely until you like at least watch a few transformation videos because it's the belts have their own personality almost.
Really?
Um and but that's just like I've been to Japan, I've been trained in voice acting, and I've had a dozen different dream gigs since then.
Oh, that's really cool. So when you say you've had some voiceover training, have you gone to some of the sessions that's fellow voice actors offer? Like um who was it? Jim Cummings did that from time to time. Rob Paulson, I think, as well. Do you know them?
No, actually, I received training at Tech C in Tokyo.
Oh, wow. That is incredible though, right?
It was very fun anyway. But yeah, it was just something I've really been meaning something to do with. It's not a huge issue, but I mean, see that because I've never been really a singer.
Yeah.
I guitar, that's it. And so
Mm.
it's always, which is probably the primary reason I struggle writing lyrics. And so that's one of the reasons I was very excited to have you on the show today was to get some advice from that end of it because I've got other musician friends. None of them
Mm.
are primarily singers.
Right. And you need sorry. So what do you? So you're looking a little bit for some advice, right, into writing your song.
Yeah, just songwriting in general. Because anyone can sit down and within 5 minutes come up with a bunch of phrases that rhyme, but
True, true.
making a song is definitely something different.
Yeah.
However, I've done voice acting work for a rapper who disagrees. He can freestyle with the best of them.
Really?
Hmm.
Freestyle, that is pretty impressive, though. Just
I
being
don't.
able to come up with lyrics on the spot is crazy. But Chaz, I can tell you that I've actually taken some I've done some online courses on songwriting. I can suggest them to you. They're actually for free, that you can do. It's let's see. It's a website called Coursera. So Coursera.
Course era.
Yeah, Coursera, and they offer a variety of online courses in different fields, including music production, vocal production, all
I
sorts of stuff like
apologize. I'll
that.
be right back. I'm getting called again.
All right.
Yeah,
I
no
apologize.
problem, dude. Course era. Okay, I'll have to.
Yeah, you go under the songwriting. I think there's something called songwriting. I don't remember the exact title, but it's it's a kind of an online course that is connected to the Berkeley Music of College, College of Music, sorry, university, and the teacher that they had for teaching the songwriting course, he's actually really good because he puts down some really cool points as to how you should structure your words and how rhythm is very important, syntax or whatever it's called. Like it gives, like, it makes the song better, let's just say that. So I've learned a lot from that. So I should get back into re-watching the videos because they're really great, honestly. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate. The point in the right direction. I guess one last question while Kenny's getting back. Um, and this is another question a lot of musicians are probably familiar with. Were you ever part of that high school or after work band? The group of people who just meet up once a week.
I wish I was. I was part of a school band. I will say this. Well, hold on. Let's see. In high school, yes, I was part of a school band, but because it was part of the school, it was like offered as an extracurricular activity, right?
Yep.
So back then, I was like, whatever opportunity I have to perform like on stage, I'll go for it. So yes, every week normally I would meet up with these people just for maybe about an hour and a half, maximum two, every week, and we would choose a song. We would pick two. Wait, we would pick maybe one or two songs and practice them. So, and then at the end of the school year, we would have a performance in a really, really big hall. So I think that helped me in preparing myself for, like getting more active in music. But I will say this, because many times, when you're in a band, you have to often decide like on a song that you all want to do, right? And sometimes you have to do it because um you're the only one who disagrees, right? So in that case, because of that, I started actually going on YouTube and trying to work on covers. And because of that, I started like building my own kind of like path or career singer-songwriter. So yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's good, but it's always even better if you have an opportunity to perform with other people. There's something magical about performing with other musicians that you can't really replicate when you work on solo covers. Definitely. So,
Yeah. I think that's great that you've had that that you've been able to come so far just from a desire to sing what you want to sing.
yeah, I mean, singing, believe it or not, growing up, I was actually the very shy girl in class. Um, really shy, in big part because where I'm from a small country in the middle of Europe called Switzerland. And this country is made up of 3 regions that speak different languages, so French, German, and Italian. And growing up, because we moved around in Switzerland because my family was growing in numbers. So we moved a couple of times, and because of that, I had to always kind of, either learn a new language or kind of adjust to the new setting, you know. So there was a lot of, yeah, oftentimes I was, quite alone, but I always found my comfort and friends through music, whenever I joined a choir, whenever I joined an ensemble or a band. Yeah, that's how I got to meet people. I learned how to open myself up more. Yeah, feel more engaged when talking to people. So yeah, music is kind of like a therapy in some sense, it helps you to express yourself. So that's why I'm really, happy to always be making music.
Well, that is an amazing sentiment. I believe that's we've got just a few minutes left. Is there anything you wanted to say in closing?
Me? I don't know if Kenny had some more questions for me or.
Oh yeah,
Not I can think of.
Okay. I think, what can I say? I think if you're a person who is passionate about something, then go for it, pursue it. Work on it now, like you've never worked on it before. If it's really your passion, if there's a dream that you have, fight for it. That's what I keep doing every day. So yeah, I think that's what I always kind of like end with.
well, thank you for saying it, and thank you for being on the show with us tonight.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. It's been an honor.
We're the ones who are honored here.
Yes, definitely.
If you guys want me to come back, I would be happy to. Just let me know when.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Well, with that said, thank you all for watching, and who will be watching. And remember to go to our channel. I left the link to your channel in the description, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate that.
And with that said, see you later, Weekend Warriors.